PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, holiday trees and holiday multiforms, wherever you are, whether you're a who or a Whovian, or you just say, who, what, where am I? It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that should leave you with mild versions of those questions, but then you say, you know what, I don't care. This dude's just here to talk and keep me company while I fall asleep. So glad you're here. If you're new, give this show a few tries. It is really different, but I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff, to be your friend in the deep, dark night, because I've been there, and a bunch of other people listening have been there too, and all of us agree you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a bedtime you could look forward to or feel neutral about, not one you dread. So just see how it goes. I'm here to help. I hope I can. Structurally, what to expect, there'll be some support. That's how the show comes out, free twice a week. Then there'll be a long, meandering intro. And then we'll cover a Who holiday special about Doctor Who, but it'll be more like a bedtime story. So if you've never seen it before, don't worry. And it's a really nice one. Some really nice, ways to celebrate the holiday season. So glad you're here. I really hope I can help. I appreciate you coming by. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And here's how I'm able to do it for you for free twice a week. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. I don't know if you're giving gifts for the holiday season or getting them, but you know me. I say, I hope I'm, on your behalf, I hope you're getting them. And I hope you say, hey, you know what I really want? I listen to Sleep With Me. I want some Sleep With Me branded sleep phones. Or if you have someone in your life that listens to something at bedtime, even if it's not Sleep With Me, you say, you know what would be cool? One of those Sleep With Me branded sleep phones. The most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me. And you can only get them if you use our link, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep-phones. There's a couple different headbands to choose from. 3 different models of sleep phones. They are the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me. And by the way, if you're a runner, holy moly, they'll change the running game, especially in the winter. So get out there, get yourself some sleep phones, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep-phones, and use Sleep With Me at checkout for a little bit of savings. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep-phones, and one word, Sleep With Me at checkout. Get those sleep phones, get those orders in right now. Happy holidays, everybody. All right, everybody, it is time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix. And it's time to treat yourself. You know what would make your holidays, you know what would make your next year, your next 10 years so much better is a brand new mattress. And not a mattress made just for anybody, one that's made for your needs. Take the free quiz, helixsleep.com/sleep. I love my Helix. Helix is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup has 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, even a mattress made just for kids. And you take that Helix sleep quiz, you'll find the mattress that works best for you and your body. It takes just 2 minutes, and your personalized mattress goes straight to your door, shipped free of charge. And Helix knows there's no better way to test it out than in your own home. So they offer a 100-night risk-free trial, so you could try out your Helix mattress, see how your body adjusts. If you decide it's not the best fit, you're welcome to return it for a full refund. Everybody's unique. Everybody sleeps differently. Helix has several different mattress models to choose from. Everything's designed depending on how you sleep, what position, what your preference is. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design combining individually wrapped steel coils in the base with premium foam layers on top. A perfect combination of comfort and support. And I love my Helix Dusk Luxe. Holy cow. Anytime I'm not at home, I wish I was. I wish I was sleeping on my Helix Dusk Luxe. So seriously, just take that 2-minute quiz. Not only is my mattress the best I've slept on, his setup was fast and easy. Like I said, it comes straight to your door, shipped for free. Helix mattresses are American-made, come with a 10 or 15-year warranty depending on the model. And remember, you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. If you don't love it, I know you will. If you don't, they'll pick it up for you, give you a full refund. And all you got to do is go to helixsleep.com/sleep. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/sleep. With Helix, better sleep starts now. All right, everybody, it is time for the Sleepy Supporter Zone. The one part of the podcast I need you to hear, it's how we were able to bring the show Free Choice Week, because the listeners who supported the sponsors elevated their support by letting the sponsors know about it. Could not do it without the listeners who take action and support the sponsors. So let me know about it. You support a sponsor, you check them out, you try a free trial, fill out the form at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. Not only will I try to thank you here, I'll try to send you a thank you video and some stickers. So fill out that form, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors, because I appreciate your support, keeping the show free for everybody. And I want to thank Chris, who supported sleep phones. Fill out the form at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. Got those sleep phones, which you can get sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. Most comfortable way to listen to the show. Thank you, Chris. Don't forget, you want to get thanked on the supporter zone, you want a video, you want some stickers, fill out that form, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors, just like Chris did. The next part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is you getting the support you need right now. If you're in need of extra help right now, even international resources, there's a list right in our show notes you could connect with. It's also about being a part of positive change, not just saying Black Lives Matter, not just saying stop AAPI, not just saying support Ukraine, but taking action to be a part of positive change. Learning more, there's links to resources in the show notes where you could get started and take action. And one of the actions we've been taking is building hygiene kits as a community. Just sign up for the email list. That's the best way to keep up to date. I'm working on a new process that everybody could take a part of that's really simple to build the hygiene kits. You could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission. One of the organizations we're supporting is the Midnight Mission in Los Angeles. So sign up. It's free. Get free access to our live shows at sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission. Oh, Mystery Bart, a lot of work goes into these podcasts. A lot of people help out on it. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Song sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bart. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. I'm at Dearest Scooter on Twitter and Instagram. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play, and I'll do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is to create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts on your mind, the things you're thinking about. So thoughts like thinking stuff about the past, present, the future, all those things at once. Stuff you just say, what do you, I don't know, so many times I notice that I'm thinking when I'm doing something else. I'm thinking, especially at bedtime and in my morning routine, normally about the past, present. So it could be thoughts, it could be feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally related to those thoughts, or that are just there, like feelings left over from the day, or, just feelings, human stuff. It could be physical sensations. It could be changes in time, temperature, routine. You could have guests. You could be traveling. You could be in the middle of something. You could have something coming up, whatever it is. It could be a lot of different stuff. Whatever it is, we're here to keep you company and take your mind off of it so you could fall asleep. And a couple of things to know is the reason I make the show is you deserve a good night's sleep, and you deserve a place at bedtime where you feel less alone, but like a bedtime where you could at least feel neutral about it, if not look forward to it. I mean, I think most Sleep With Me listeners are like, well, I don't dread bedtime anymore. I got Scoots there, and I know he brings a kind of mediocrity. He's the most, if there is peak mediocrity, which I don't know, he doesn't even know if he could do that because he said, well, I'm confused by that. His vocabulary is so mediocre and his understanding of concepts, but he embraces it. There's a place, Sleep With Me, place where mediocrity is embraced, especially at bed. You say, well, at least I feel somewhat neutral about bedtime. Like we say around here, we don't take our water tepid, but symbolically, you say, bring me some tepid water, man. Your Grace, what could I bring you? Some tepid water right away. Because I'm looking to appeal I'm looking to get the perspective of some of the algae in our community. So this show is here to keep you company and so you can fall asleep because you deserve a good night's sleep. That's one part of it. Now, the less alone part is a little bit more complicated in this digital whatever we're in. I don't think we're in a realm, but kind of we are. Or I'm trying to carve out a safe place, which would be within a realm. We'll declare my safe place. It's a mediocre realm, the realm of mediocrity. You can't call him unfortunately, you can't be a prince in the realm of mediocrity, but, yeah, that's where, you don't rule there either. You don't have to, no pressure. That's what's great about being in a realm of mediocrity. Say, well, I can just be okay. So, yeah, that's it. What else do we got here? Realm of mediocrity. So the other side of the show, why you're not supposed to feel you're not alone because, whatever is keeping you awake, while I might not have experienced it, or maybe, there's hundreds of thousands of people listening right now that may not have been through the same thing you're going through. There's a lot of us that could relate to it. Even if I can't relate to it, there's probably someone else out there that can relate to how it feels. And the reason I make the show is because I can relate to a lot of those things, tossing, turning, mind racing trouble, getting to sleep trouble, staying asleep, not even knowing. Like the other night I was like, am I awake? Have I been awake for 2 hours or asleep or in and out of sleep? And I'm thinking about starting a debate club with my sleep apps where I say, wait a second. They say, our sensors don't lie, sir. And I say, but this information does not seem. And they say, this is the data and the data we have about you. Did you say data, not data, like data art? And then they hung up and they said, this is so. Whatever is keeping you awake. The most important things are you deserve a good night's sleep where you could get some rest, and ideally you feel less alone. Now, this show does not work for everybody, but good news, and I laugh because it's a strange bit of good news. It works for almost no one on the first try. So give it a few tries and see how it goes. It's free. And that's what most reviewers say. Like people that pay for the podcast now, they say there's people that pay for the podcast that said, I couldn't stand you. Then 2 years later, I had a big appointment coming up. Couldn't sleep, tried the podcast. Now I listen every night. Now that's kind of an edge case, but most people say the first try, didn't like it. Skeptical, doubtful, irritated. Then the second try, I was kind of like, this doesn't make any sense. The third try, I was like, okay, it's not supposed to. So give it a few tries, see how it goes. You got nothing to lose. But if you already loathe the podcast, that doesn't change the fact that most of us can relate to how you feel. and that you deserve a good night's sleep. So check out sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you and see there's other sleep podcasts and sleepy audio on there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep you company. I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night out of my out of the realm of mediocrity. It's so mediocre. You see, you're misusing that. I don't know if he knows. And I say, that's how I do it. Couldn't be the epitome of mediocrity or the epitome of it, without wandering around in the realm of it, and saying, I don't even know. I don't know. So I'm going to send my voice across the deep dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So that means my voice is not traditionally soothing because it's here to keep you company and not be kind of barely listen to me. And also I go off topic, as you've seen. Pointless meanders and superfluous tangents. I've already been on a few. But all of it to keep you company. This is a podcast you don't really listen to. You just kind of barely listen. Like you kind of tune me. You could tune me out. You could tune me barely, or you could listen, because this is also not a podcast that puts you to sleep. I keep you company while you fall asleep. There's no pressure to listen and no pressure to fall asleep. In fact, I'm going to be here to the very end because there are listeners who can't sleep who are listening to the show, or who need a break during the day who are listening. And I'm here to the very end, whether you're awake or asleep. And for a lot of people, that's what works about the show. They say, oh, I know you're going to be here, so I don't have to listen to you. And I don't have to listen to you, but I know you're going to be here. So this is a podcast that doesn't put you to sleep, and you don't really listen to it. I'm here to be your bore friend, your bore bae, your bore sib, your bore cuz, your bore bestie, your bore, did I say bore bud, your neighbor, your bore burr, your friend in the deep dark night, and keep you company. So those are some things. Podcasts you don't listen to, sleep podcasts that doesn't put you to sleep, takes a few tries to get used to. Is there more good news? Oh boy, is there. Because we designed the show in a very specific way, just because it goes out, and with specific goals in mind. But as you become a regular listener, you can adjust how you listen. But let me tell you why the show is structured the way it is. Show starts out with a greeting, so you feel seen and welcomed in, and you say, maybe I could check this podcast out. Then there's a sponsor and listener support, so the show could be free, so paying for it is optional. And the podcast comes out reliably twice a week, Sundays and Wednesdays. Then, separate from the support of the show, is an intro that's about 10 to 20 minutes long that goes on and on and on, where I try to describe what the podcast is unsuccessfully or inefficiently, or in a mediocre way. This time it works. I'd say most people would rate the podcast on one side of mediocre because, as I've heard so many times, see, the intro just goes on and on. You're supposed to just intro the show and move on into the bedtime story. And I say, well, the intro, again, serves purposes. So the goal is to show you feel welcome. The podcast is free. And then the intro eases you into bedtime. It gives you some time to wind down or do a bedtime routine or get ready for bed or be in bed getting comfortable. And if you fall asleep during the intro, that's totally fine. Or if you skip the intro, that's totally fine. But for most listeners, the intro is part of the wind down in the twilight period of the show. It eases you into bedtime. So that's why it goes on and on and on. That's why it's different every time, but it follows the same structure so that it feels familiar, but you can't quite adjust whatever's keeping you awake. So that's the intro. Yeah, and a small percentage of people fall asleep during it, and some people, 2 or 3% skip it. So just see how it goes and see if it works for you. Then there's support for the show after the intro, and then there's our story. Tonight will be a little bit of a holiday special from Doctor Who. Get one last piece of Tennant in there, you know what I'm saying? Get some the D to the T. That Doctor. If I wasn't mediocre, I'd know. Oh, that's the 7th Doctor, but I don't know if it is. That was just a number that popped in my head. So 11th, I don't know. Are those prime numbers? No idea. Thanks, brain, for so yeah, that's the bedtime story. That'll be about 45, 50 minutes. I think maybe longer because the episode's pretty long. And then there'll be some thank yous at the end. So it's the structure of the show. That's why I make the show. It's here for you. So see how it goes. I really hope I can help you fall asleep. I work really hard. I yearn and I strive. And there's a lot of other people that work really hard at bringing this podcast to you. Couldn't do without them either. So I appreciate it. And I really hope I can help you fall asleep. And here's a couple of ways we're able to do this for you for free twice a week. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. This is one of the messages where I ask you to think about becoming a patron or supporting the show by spreading the word or supporting a sponsor. The best way to support the show, though, is directly on Patreon, and only if you're in a position to do so. But if you are in a position to do so, to support the show $5, $10, $20 a month, or maybe cut back on one of the other streaming services you might not use as much as Sleep With Me, just think about for a second, what would I do if I didn't have Sleep With Me to listen to? Like if you say, oh, I just listen to something else. Yeah, you don't need to support the show, but if you say, well, I'd really miss it. Now, I'm doing my best to make sure Sleep With Me stays free and coming out twice a week, so you don't got to worry about that. But I do that with help of people that are in a position to support the show, to be a rebel with the cause. sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. So if you could afford to support the show either annually or monthly at $5, $10, or $20 a month, just say to yourself, well, what would I do without Sleep With Me? And if it's an easy answer, probably you don't need to support the show or support it because of the bonus content or ad-free episodes or something else. But if the answer is, good, oh boy, I don't know, and you can afford it, please support the show, particularly right now. I mean, it's a time, it's not an easy time for anybody. So just ask yourself that question if you're listening. Well, what did you do? What did you do before Sleep With Me? And what did you spend money on before Sleep With Me to help you fall asleep? And then be a rebel with cause, support a free podcast, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patrons, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patrons. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, Scoots here, and I got to be honest, I'm normally, I'm not surprised to be wrong since it happens so often, but for some reason I was under the impression that there was only 2 David Tennant seasons of Doctor Who, and I was a little bit confused, especially watching this episode, this holiday special, because I said, wait a second, isn't this when they change up doctors or whatever, or they at least set it up? And, I'm not going to talk about previews at the end of the episode, but I said, whoa, it must be, is there like another special, like another Doctor Who movie? Because that's a lot of David Tennant, and, I can't get enough of that. But it turns out, as in so many things, Scoots was wrong. That's what qualifies me to make a sleep podcast. So, my mistake to your benefit, because I just looked and it looks like season 4 is full of Tennant. So that's great for everybody. But right now we're talking about season 3, episode 14, the Christmas special from 2007. Voyage, fantastic voyage. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Like ride, and slippity slide. I don't know I know the song came first because I think that was a 90s. I'm thinking of the hip hop one. Was that a Coolio song? But, so I was just wondering, anybody that, I was trying to imagine the experience of curling up with my family on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve and watching this, because it is a longer episode. Probably I don't know if it had commercials or not, but it clocks in at an hour and 12 minutes or just under it with the previews afterwards. But yeah, we'll run through it here, and let's see. It starts off last episode. Doctor thinking. There's the ship horn. He's like doing stuff on the ship, and then a WTF. There's dust. What? Bells, steam, water, and it's the hull of the Titanic. Then he makes some adjustments to the ship. The TARDIS repairs itself or reforms, pushes the ship out. But then the doctor's like, wait a second, that gives me an idea. And I don't know, it's tough to say. I mean, that looks like a ship's thing, but then he ends up inside of a room. I got to pause it here. Oh, yeah, let's see. Hold on. Looks like some glue's on the table. Oh, when I pause it, it doesn't, but it's different, something shipping company limited first floor. Doctor goes into a room where the Christmas is being celebrated. Wood panels, globes, fancy dress, people serving drinks, angel statues, a desk, people dressed like they belong on ships. But one of the angels looks at them, so they're angel bots. And very fancy, very fancy. This is the Titanic, but we realize we're in... like it's a large diversity of not just human beings. And then the doctor says, right, he looks out the window, in orbit above Sol 3, also known as Earth, population human. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Christmas. So that must have been fun for the holiday season to see that. Fancy holiday, Jingle Bells was playing, angels, bots, lots of beings. So yeah, under... right, Titanic, Sol 3, Earth. Then we're on the bridge. There's like a dude that looks a little bit like the guy from Paper Chase. Got his name written down, but I forgot his name. It's a space liner above Earth. Captain's got medals. There's this kid Bridge who's working there. He's new. They sent everybody off to get some rum. And we see Kid Bridge. He's midshipman, first trip out. I'm Kid Bridge. And he says, well, you could go take a break. He goes, oh, no, Bridge's got to be staffed by 2. Level 5 planet, Silent Night, they call it. Max Capricorn commercial, cruise lines, jazzy water. Oh, jazzy winter wonderland. People dancing, happy people, doctor smiles. Casio Angels here to funk. That doesn't make any sense. Experience primitive cultures. That's why they're really there. Most famous vessel of Earth, Max Capricorn, Max Headroom. And then they say, oh, there's a software problem because one of the angels is having trouble. 8 of them down, some kind of bug. Throw them overboard. I see one of those angels has got to cost more money even that I'll ever make in my entire lifetime. So I don't normally like to call for the firing of an imaginary character, but see, that's very wasteful. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I'd refurbish them. I mean, it was foreshadowing. If you knew what you knew, rude guy with Gemir Earth antique jacket, antique Earth jacket, genuine Earth antique jacket. Doctor helps Astrid, who's serving drinks. The guy bumps into her. She bumps into him. They break the glasses, spills on his jacket. Merry Christmas. Something Malone. Used to be. Are you alone or something? Used to be no. Yes, no. Spruce Put Diner to be here. No. Shore leave. No. Oh, so they're going. Are you going to have any shore leave? She says, no, I'm stuck on the ship. They don't let us off the ship because of insurance purposes. But I've always dreamt of seeing another sky. Dreamy eyes. Doctor's charming. I'm a stowaway. Seriously. This is, no, yeah, it's a bit of a party. I thought, why not? Have this jib thing. Have a drink on the house. Rude people who, there's a group of people that are rude to another group of people dressed in kind of fun cowboy outfits. They're nice, but other people are being rude. They won tickets to come by the light of the asteroid. That's the name of the game show they won the tickets on. Doctor sprays the rude people with champagne. One person's like, we'll get to it, but her name's Foon. Podcast, Foon, because Foon is famous in it's a famous thing in podcasts. or a podcast. Red 6-7 tickets get to go to Earth. Come on, let's go. But then we go to the bridge. There's trouble on the bridge. Power, meteor shower. Power's going down to the shields. A meteor shower. And standard bionic red 6-7 this way. Doctor uses this fake pamphlet thing, psychic sonogram or whatever it's called. I don't know. Doctor pulls a fast one. Okay, London town, UK, Wenceslas. Okay, here's the game show info. Doctor sits down with them. They said, fancy dress. Then why are they laughing at us? Well, they're just classist because we won our tickets. Juthy Crystal. That's the Five Husbands of Juthy Crystal. You ever watch The Light of the Asteroid? Oh, the one with the twins? Oh, yeah. That's it. Marvelous. So, and then that's when the doctor sprays the rude people with champagne, which is funny. And he says, I'm the doctor. Nice to meet both of you. Red 6-7, that's the bridge. And meteors, and no shields. Oh, maybe you're going to do a light show? Where did I put, where does I put the guy's name, the actor that he looks like? I almost had it. Okay, this dude knows nothing about Earth, which is pretty pays off over it. She says, doctor says, you can come with me, Astrid. She says, I get fired. He goes, you get to see the brand new sky, new sky I'll cover for you. London town, UK, ruled over by good King Wenceslas, and they worship the great god Santa, who and his wife Mary, and Santa Claus. They think it's Santa Claus, and they go. They deal with turkeys. So a little bit of telephone where the guy doesn't totally understand. Doctor's like, "Where'd you get this information from?" And he goes, "I have a degree in earthonomics, and now stand by." So we all go to Red 6-7. She used to work at the worship Santa. She used to work at the space. He's a Red 6-7. We meet Bana. Hold on, what's your name? Bana Kafa Alata. Bana Kafa Alata. I think I got it right. I said it a ton of times when I was watching, but, okay. They get down to Earth, just a street doctor says, should be full of people. Oh, they say, watch out, Boxing Day's coming up. They also have a credit card so they can buy gifts, undercover, Earth currency, but the street's empty. Doctor says it should be packed. And then Astrid's like, I love it here. Don't try the beef. That's what the guy says, the tour guide or whatever. But Astrid says, I love it. It smells. There's alien shops. I'm on a different planet, just like you would react, I find it very relatable. And it was funny because the doctor couldn't relate because the doctor's been on so many planets. London dressed up, London at Christmas, them up above. We meet a news person, advertisement for carols in Camden. Queen stayed in her palace, but everybody else left because of the past few holiday specials. Nothing to worry about. But then they get zipped back to the ship. Pomflex free drinks. I don't know what Pomflex means, but Powerflux. Free drinks. The doctor asks, what's going on? There's a meteor. He looks it up. There's the meteor. Oh, no, we're on the bridge. See the meteors changing course. Shields, we got to put them up. No, as you were. Oh, John Houseman, that's who it is. He magnetizes the hall. What are you doing, a light show? Then there's a live band singing Be With My Love on Christmas Day. I don't know the actual name of that song, but that might be the name of it. Doctor smiles. We see a TV with the Max ads on it. The doctor hacks that. Max has a gold tooth that winks. Doctor checks the shields. Shields are down. Meteors are coming. He calls the bridge. You got no shields. Then all the people at work on the ship say, "Come with me, sir. Step away. Panel all me, all me." Doctor tries to make a moment, but he says, "Look out the windows." Then Kid Bridge, John Houseman says, "I'm taking over the bridge myself. Kid Bridge, you're not Kid Bridge anymore. Check the shields, man." A rock comes through the window. I said, "Wait, I'd be like, get me off the ship now." "Oh, we got oxygen sealed." "Oh, I don't care. If a rock from space came on here." "You there? Bad news. Houseman Chain, Doctor and friends. Oi, Stewart, the shields are down. Call Max Capricorn, red alert." Big Buick sequence. There's a big something sequence where the ship's, because the ship starts getting bumped by asteroids. And there's even like a little action sequence. Everybody's running around. Crash, boom, trouble on ship. Angels wake up. Doctor's got his glasses on. The angels line up on deck 31, maybe? Looks like it. Doctor says fingers, like a doctor he's with a group of people. Bonaconvaletta, Quiet, the rich guy, Astrid, Mr. Copper, who's the steward, what do you call that when you work at a museum? And some dude that works on the ship. Doctor opens, the guy goes, "Don't worry, I'll open this door. I'll go to the bridge," and it's outer space. So that doesn't, that's a WTF. The doctor seals that up. Rickson Stone or something. Rickson Sloan, that's a rude rich guy. Total jerk. Yeah, I put it there. Ship overboard. His TARDIS is overboard, but it'll go to wherever the Earth's nearest gravitational pull. Bit small, bit distant. Goes to Earth, near center of gravity. Angels host this elevator door. Oh, the angels are the hosts of the ship. Something about an elevator door, something effect. We play. Oh, so the angels, they're supposed to be like information portals, I guess. You go up to, you say, "Hey, where do I get a drink? Where's the restroom?" They don't really show them doing anything else, but they're supposed to be information portals. All of a sudden, they've been hacked or something by somebody else, Max Capricorn, spoiler, but they say, "We're our only purpose now." This is so weird, but I mean, not for Doctor Who. They say our only purpose is to learn to play, what is that game called? Ultimate Frisbee. And the cool thing is that their angel halos are Frisbees. The bad thing is they've never played, they're not human. They're just robots. They're very strong, but they've never played Frisbee before. And they just immediately start throwing their Frisbee. So that bumps people, gives people a bump. They say, "I don't like that. Stop throwing the Frisbees." But they don't stop because they say, "We need to learn to play and, really good at Ultimate Frisbee. You're it." And they say, "That's not even how you play Ultimate Frisbee." And they say, "Deck 22 to bridge. Hello, sailor." So the doctor calls Kid Bridge. "Stay calm. Tell me your name." He says his name, but it's Kid Bridge is better. Engines are cycling down. Oh, that's not good. Fire up the engines. Fire up the containment fields. The Kid Bridge says, "I don't think that's going to work." And he says, "Don't worry about what's going to work, kid. People worry." Doctor calms them. 1B. Here's what we're going to do. 1, then B, or 2, then 3, then 4, or D. Then he says, who the heck are you? "I'm the doctor. I've been doing this for 903 years. I'm also like a Time Lord and from Gallifrey. So if you haven't heard it, that's, I think the rich guy says, "What qualifies you?" Then Alonzi, moon, ship, earth, stars, careful, spent of spirit of Christmas, good or better be good for goodness sake. We're going to climb to the ship, 1. 2, B, we're going to go to the bridge. 3, C, we're going to save the Titanic. And 4, or D, or IV and footnotes, something, I don't know. Yeah, and he says that, okay, but good on, I'm a doctor, I'm a Time Lord. We're right at the right time. From Gallifrey, from the constellation of Castor Boris. I'm going to save your behinds and all 6 billion people on Earth, because if the ship crashed in Earth, no good. You got a problem with that? The rich guy says, no, Allons-y. That's ALLONS-Y. Okay, we see the moon. We got some more good dialogue coming up here. The TARDIS was in that shot, I think. Doctor goes through one door, sees the stairs are blocked, a lot of steam. Be careful, better watch your step. Blocked Bala Kalavata through the gap, tickets, talk, 5,000 times credits, hiding the phone bill. Oh, they say that human beings, you only get a gift if you've been good or bad. Doctor says, that's not true. It's a time of peace and Thanksgiving. But he goes, oh, actually, my Christmases are always like this because I'm on the special. And they find a host. They don't know the hosts are trouble, though. Strength of 10, we can use it to mend the rubble. And it ends up that they used to work in the milk factory or something on Stowe, Foon and her husband. So they're blocked. Banacafalata. Go through the gap, see what you could do. We'll follow you. There's still a lot of shaking of the ship. And Banacafalata makes it, and then Astrid goes. Let's see. I want to see the couple talking about their phone bill, because that's like a nice emotional moment. Real love in the spirit of Christmas. So he says, don't worry, because the rich guy is always making comments. But she goes, this was my fault. The tickets, it was like a 1-900 number or something. I never told you. I called the competition line 5,000 times. It's 5,000 credits, which a pound is 10 credits. So it's a lot. 5,000 credits is $50,000 or $500,000. And she goes, yeah. He goes, holy cow, that's going to take the rest of our lives to pay off. Then he laughs. He says, well, we're in a ridiculous situation here. And don't worry, you know what's important? I love you. That's what's important. You made a mistake. 20 years. So we'd have to both work to get that money. But you're not crossed. It doesn't matter right now. Look at us. Because, I don't half love you, Miss Von Hoff. Get over here. And they kiss and rub noses. There's your spirit of Christmas right there. And then more acceptance and love. Banacavalatza is a cyborg. Turns out this, wherever the luxury line is from, is an anti-cyborg culture. They are working on equal rights, but not there yet. And, but Astrid's like, don't worry, I won't tell anybody. So he's got to get recharged to Banacavalatza. And he says, hey, but what if we go out on a date? I'd like to marry you. She goes, what if you buy me a drink after we get out of this? Then we were on the bridge, kitchen. Oh, then we see her the kitchen. There's about 50, 60 people on board, but the angels and the hosts are trying to play, what do you call that? Ultimate Frisbee with everybody, which tires everybody out so they can't do anything. They're stuck. Frisbee only. Repeat, Frisbee only. The hosts, and then there's action. Doctor wants to know what's on deck 31 or something. Not our only problem. One problem at a time, kid. Deck 31, nothing on there. Then they stopped for a snack. Snack time. Looks good. 9:03. See me in the mornings, okay? Oh, this is like a little romance talk. They talk about, well, you should see me in the mornings, doctor says. She says, you look good for 903 years old. He goes, you see me in the mornings. She goes, okay, maybe I will. Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. So it's past midnight on Earth. Space shuffles. Oh, this is interesting. Let's see where this is. This piece of dialogue here is coming up in a little bit. Oh, also the host tried to whatever, not important. We missed it, but tried to get let me know, let's get this engines going. They're having their snack now. Even Time Lords have to eat. Look good for 9:03. And yeah, they share a moment. Doctor, past midnight Earth time. Humans are going to be doing their wild Christmas rituals. Merry Christmas. What's this Christmas thing all about anyway? Long story. I should know. I was there. I got the last room at the end. Is he talking about planets waking up? Can't we signal them? No, they don't have spaceships, but they have shuffles. Oh, space shuffles. Mr. Cooper, where'd you get your Earthonomics degree? And we got another piece of truth. Honestly, at a laundromat, and I'm not kidding. Let's see, just between us, Miss Golightly's happily traveling university and dry cleaners. So dry cleaners, now a laundromat. So you lied to the company to get the job. Yep, wasted my life on Stowe. And I was a traveling salesman, never had any savings. So this is, nothing to show for it. He actually gets a wish. He says, I'd like to retire, basically. Earth sounded so cool. Exotic, man. How come you know Earth so well? Oh, well, you, doctor says, I'm into Earth. I like it. And Mr. Cooper says, I'm going to lose my job and worse because I lied about my degree. They say, talk about classist. If you lie about your degree, you get in trouble. I mean, you get in real trouble, not just a little trouble, which is wild. Let's see. So where is it from? Host knock at the door. They're in a giant room with a steam engine, lots of angels. And we got a lot of big farming going on here. There's a lot of big farm visits because they say my Christmas wish is to change form. So first there's like a bridge. The rich guy goes over there. The doctor. So then Foon's husband is it's like, it was so like, I guess this is like serious stakes. He says he trips and goes to the big farm. The big engine, big engine. So Foon's obviously really upset. Rich guy goes over. Sorry, Foon. Hugs and tears. Bona Cavalata is next. Then Astrid, then Mr. Copper, then Foon doesn't want to go. The doctor goes across because he has to unlock the door, but I'm coming back. Then they're on the bridge, careful. Then there's quiet. Where have they gone? And then Mr. Cooper says, or Copper says, by the way, angels have wings. So the angels fly in trying to play Frisbee, when they say, you don't even know how to throw these Frisbees. So then they start playing Frisbee baseball, which isn't even a thing, just to keep the Frisbees from bumping them. Then Bona Cavalata does this like a cyborg EMP thing, reveals he's a cyborg, sends out an EMP, which if you've seen any movies like with EMPs, it's like a thing, an electromagnetic pulse, that short circuits everything. short circuits all the angels, but I guess only temporarily because one of the angels, most angels go down to the engine, the steam engine. But he used all his paper, happy, too late, farewell. There's piano music. Copper says, let's take his EMP, though. There's no more hosts, but yeah, there is. Down gets to the bottom. Why Earth? What is the plan? 3 questions used. So then another host appears with Doctor and is going to like frisbee the Doctor, but Foon ropes the thing, and they take a quick trip to the big farm holiday party. Because, I mean, she can meet up with her husband there, so it's perfect. They say, let's run and get out of SOS. Astrid charge the EMP. Rickson gets service sensitive. He gets the sonic screwdriver. Come on, gold, wireless charger. Oh, yeah, the EMP charges wirelessly. Just, I'm sort of unemployed. Could squeeze it. I don't know. Well, I'm afraid we forgot the tradition of Christmas. The angels have wings. That's where the tape is. Copper saying that. So the angels show up. That's when they're playing baseball. Trying to find this wireless charging. I don't know what the quotes are. Bonacavalata. They take his EMP. Foon takes care of the one angel that's still bugging them. There's still angels on board. But Astrid, they got to charge 60 seconds to charge. And Rickson gets to open the doors with a sonic screwdriver. Go, Doctor says, okay, Mr. Cooper, I need you to put a Band-Aid on. Blue light comes on. It'll beep when it's charged. I'm not coming with you, though. I got to go to deck 31. What if you meet us a host? Well, I'll just have some fun. Sounds like you do this kind of thing all the time. Not by choice. All I do is travel, just a traveler. Imagine that. No tax, no bills, no boss, just open sky. Doctors, and she says, well, I'm unemployed. Maybe I could travel with you. Could I? She asks him directly. And she says, even, I'll take care of you. And he's like, says, well, it's not easy. I got no one back on Stowe, just me. Gives her a long look, but he is smiling. What do you think? Can I come with you? Yeah, there, he just turns his mouth. Yeah, I'd like that. Yeah, she smiles. Ship shakes. Time to move, though. Music, ship quake, kid a bridge. He's like steering the ship. It actually has like a steering wheel. But I don't know, the engines aren't working again or something because the ship's in rough shape, I guess. Astrid and Rickson keep an eye on everybody. Keep an eye on Mr. Copper. See you later. And then she goes, there's old tradition on planet Stowe. Let me stand on a box. I'm going to give you a kiss. Big time. Closed mouth kiss. Appropriate for very old tradition. Yes. But a nice one. Doctor heads off. See you later. Oh, yes. Doctor goes back across the bridge. Astrid, Copper, and Rickson are running. Everybody's on stairs. There's music. More hosts, but Astrid EMPs them, which is impressive. Everybody's impressed, jumping for joy. 4 more down. Oh, no, that's later. The Doctor gets surrounded. Security protocol 1, he knows. That's when he gets to ask questions. He goes, do I get to ask 3 questions, right? And they said, that's question 1. But can we not count that question? Question 2. He goes, wait a second, I'm not a passenger. I'm a stowaway. So You should bring me to the figure of authority on deck 31. Am I right? Brilliant. Take me to your leader. Always wanted to say that. You know, I'm not on record as a passenger, so you got to do that. You can't play Frisbee with me because I'm not a passenger. And I say, okay, I guess so. Kid Bridge seals the doors of the bridge. Wristbands. Astrid sees the wristbands. He's a little sad or something. Astrid sees the wristbands that teleport you to Earth. She gets an idea. Call the bridge. No, she calls the bridge. They say, the guy says, no, I can't help you. She goes, I need to be teleported to 31. No, can't do it. For the doctor. He's on his own. Giving you power. Good luck. Then part of deck 31 looks we've seen it already. It's like where they repair all the hosts. But there's a secret door that opens up to like a shielded area. And dude comes out. First you see a car, and then there's a dude in there, and he says, my name is Max. His teeth even shine. And doctor says, yeah, I love your book, man, how to get ahead in business. And he goes, what are you, the office joker? That's what Max says to the doctor. And the doctor says, nice wheels, man. And he goes, no one's made me laugh in a while. And then again, they say, he goes, I've had to hide out because people dislike cyborgs. I'm a cyborg. And there's a nice sign for the lower deck. What's gone wrong? Doctor does not understand. Because he's like, why? I don't understand why you're doing this, man. Crashing the Titanic, that's counterintuitive. And he goes, no interviews. And doctor goes, yes, no, yes. Then he figures it out. He goes, oh, you're a failure. You were voted out by your board. You're out of business. Ren Haxico 2, very fond of metal. Oh. Of metal, he says, it sounded a little bit like doctor, like the Austin Powers pronunciation of it, metal, he says. Just reminded me of that. Max is in like a car that also has like one of those big printers, like steam coming out of it and everything. He goes, I never lose, man. Doctor calls him a loser. He says, I never lose. And he goes, you can't sink the Titanic? Oh, I am. Then he says, by the way, I could just shut down the engines from my computer. I don't know why I had to do this whole plan. And he goes, everybody goes, yeah, that seemed a little bit much. No, so clean now. 2 for me, and then I retire. So he's gonna be fine in his like shielded chamber. Then he's gonna get picked up. He's gonna go retire. 2 people are coming for me to pick him up. He had to run his company by hologram for a while. But yeah, he says, let Christmas disco inferno commence. But really, they're going to crash the Titanic, and it's going to make everybody disco until they're too tired to play holidays. Then Astrid appears in a forklift, of all things. Like, first she was scoping out the situation. Then there's big music, forklift action music, because there's a forklift showdown. In her car and Max's car do that thing where 2 cars push each other in the movies. And then all of a sudden they use a Frisbee to cut her brake lines. And then there's slow-mo, super slow-mo with soft focus on Astrid and the doctor. Because they say the best way to appreciate the holiday season is more characters from this episode to go to a holiday party in the big farm. So Astrid and Max do that, which, that's wild. Big farm. Derek Balschlar. The ship's going down in slow-mo too. Dock, big farm something. To the beaches of Penhaxico too. That's where the dude's retiring. Kid Bridge, there's lots of yelling during the slow-mo with music playing, so you can't hear the yelling. And Copper and Rickson are yelling. But the doctor does this slow walk where he's frowning, his hands are out. Action hero walk. And then he puts his hands out and he snaps, and these angels pick him up and they start flying upwards. I just realized a host of angels, they're hosts and they're angels. And they start flying upwards. They're glowing. They put their hands above their heads, which is kind of like one of the superheroes when they fly. But then it makes sense because they go through the floor of the bridge. They're wearing gloves too. And Kid Bridge is there, and I think he says, "What's the name of your family or your first name?" He says, "Alonzo." Alonzi, man, perfect. Then there's more action music, and the doctor's at the helm of the ship. Here's where Astrid says, "Mr. Capricorn," and she uses the forklift, the lights. She puts it in gear, puts her foot down to the floor, pedal to the metal, man. And that's when she has a little show off with Max Headroom, Max Capricorn. But then the angel, I guess, purposefully cuts a brake line. It doesn't make sense because it doesn't look like the brake line would be where it hit, but whatever. And they go back and forth. And then a super slow-mo. No, the doctor says. And they get the zooms on their eyes and their faces. Soft focus. She lifts up Max with the forklift and guns it. And different than Thelma and Louise, but in the spirit of Thelma and Louise. And the doctor says, "Astrid." And, she even waves goodbye. I didn't see that part. And the doctor breathes heavy, grinds his teeth a little. And that must have been a break because it faded. Then the Titanic falling. Voyage is, over. Kid Bridge is running around the bridge, yelling. Ship's shaking. He's trying to steer it and press buttons. Overwhelmed for sure. Rickson and Copper hugging and holding on to the ship and each other. Ooh, very dramatic yelling from Kid Bridge. It almost looks like he's singing. Then the slow-mo walk of the doctor, sparks and stuff falling behind him. Then, head and shoulder shot. Now a shot of him walking again, more sparks. Another shot of him, even closer, headshot, very determined. Now his arms are out. He says, "Come here," with his hands. Two angels. Take his arms after he snaps. And they fly on eagle's wings, bearing them, on something before Earth's dawn. There's lots of yelling. The doctor takes the helm of the ship, but it looks like they're doing re-entry. He's trying to pull at the helm. Lots more yelling. He calls for the Queen, and they're trying to say all is well. Queen was right to stay in, not in Godsford Park, Buckingham Palace. But now the doctor says, "You got to get out of there." So her and her dog, she's still in her bathrobe. Code 771, by the way. If you ever have the same authority as the doctor, it's code 771. And the newsie, who's still in London, also says, "Oh, no, don't you dare." But they do manage to pull up at Buckingham Palace and avoid the Buckingham Palace. Queen waves and says, "Thank you, Doctor. Happy Christmas." Alonzo is so happy. Kid Bridge, he rings the bell. Cheery music, almost Mary Poppins-esque. The doctor and Kid Bridge talk. Okay, you're going to have to, we're getting picked up. They're going to be, we told them all about everything that happened. They believed it because it was so wild. They said the only person capable of this kind of wildness is Max Capricorn. And the doctor says, I'm going to take a couple of these teleports. But first he says, this teleport thing still work? And they say, yeah, I think so. And he goes, oh, well, it's a little bit like Willy Wonka-esque. They say, oh, well, they keep your thing. It'd be easier if I read it while it's happening. So they say, no, let's get to that point. But basically, the doctor tries to bring Astrid back, because what he wants is not to be alone. The teleport, or short circuits. Mr. Copper, what's the code? Okay, let's do it. Yeah, if a passenger was on shore, their molecules are held in stasis. I think that's probably how teleporting works. We could call her back, halfway come back, and then she short circuits. Feedback with a molecule grid. Oh, no. We need phase containment, surface suspension, override the safety. She's gone, doctor. I can do it. Copper says, let her go, man. She's like half in half form. Doctor kicks the machine. Stop me, catch me, I'm falling. Just like the song, Falling in Love. Doctor goes, there's not enough time left. System's not working. She's just Adam's doctor. And, she's got some memory. Other than that, she's an echo. She's stardust. Doctor goes, great call, bro. Astrid, Path, the citizen of Stowe. The woman who looked at the stars or dreamt of traveling. Well, now you're stardust. And then they just lets her out the window. I guess you got an open window on a spaceship? Not a great idea. Old tradition. Oh, he kisses her. I miss that all the times I watch the episode. He's too furiously writing. Because there's a weird portrait of the spaceship in trouble behind them. Now you could travel forever. Your remote control opens the window, and then she turns to stardust and goes out the window. Even Rickson is touched. You're not falling anymore, Astrid. You're flying. So she goes out the window, and everybody stares, a little moment. Then we see the Earth. We see the ship flying away again. Then we check back in. Oh, it fades from the Earth to a globe. And they say, okay, great. This is when we're going to get rescued. But then Mr. Copper says, well, they're going to, I faked my degree. So this is great. We get rescued and I get in trouble. And he goes, well, it's too bad. But I guess I got to do that. My own fault. But it doesn't make really sense that you get a 10 for faking your thing. Then Rickson says, Doctor, man, thanks so much. By the way, I sold all my stocks and I got super rich from this thing. What do you think of that? And the doctor is not happy about it. But Copper puts that in perspective. He goes, yeah, you don't get to choose, doctor. Not fair, but probably for the best. Because if you were choosing, what would that make you? And then he goes, Mr. Copper, what do you think about me and you heading to Earth? Here's a wristband. And then they start to teleport out. Kidbridge gives them a salute. They arrive on Earth. The snow's fallen. And the guy goes, what am I going to do here, though, I guess? And the doctor goes, you got that credit card? And he goes, yeah. He goes, it's got $1 million on it. Got great France, great Germany. He goes, no, it's France and Germany. Only Britain's great. So a little, he goes, America. That's another continent, America. And he goes, TARDIS made it. That's great. And Copper goes, I don't even think the snow's real. Maybe it's the ballast from the Titanic. Yeah, I said, don't stick your tongue out in that case. Goes, one of these days it might snow for real, doctor says. Well, suppose you'll be off. Yeah, and he says, yeah, don't worry, a credit card, bro. That's a lot of pressure, though, not to lose it. But I think you could probably get on there online. Copper seems to know his way around a computer pretty well. And he says, £1,000,000, hey, I could buy, like, I could live the rest of my life. This was great. I get a nice little cottage. I guess that's 5 million credits or 50 million credits. 50 million credits. It's like right now, I think like 1.15 and 150 in U.S. He goes, oh, wow, this is nice. I finally get to retire. He goes, yeah, you got your Christmas wish, bruh. Consider me Santa Claus. Oh, my word. Oh, my goodness me. He's really happy. He goes, tell you what, you grow a beard. Cheers, planet Earth. Now, that's a retirement plan. Oh, I will, buddy. No interfering. I don't want any trouble, okay? Just enjoy your life. Goes, yeah, I have a proper garden and a door. Always wanted a door, man. Always wanted a door. I'll make you proud, doctor. And he gives the doctor a hug. Doctor smiles. Kitchen with chairs and plates. He runs off into the snow. Doctor pauses. Where are you going? Where are you going? No idea. And doctor unlocks the TARDIS. Me neither. But doctor, I won't forget her. Doctor nods. There's a slow zoom out as he looks at stars in space. He sees a shooting star. Knows it's Astrid. And Mr. Copper's skipping. He goes, Merry Christmas, Mr. Copper. He's really, he's dancing off. And then the TARDIS dematerializes. And that's it. The episode comes to a close. So pretty great episode. Happy holidays whenever you listen to this, or you know, however you celebrate, or whenever the happy whatever. If you're listening to this any other time of the year, I mean, I think the things were, these are year-long lessons anyway. So thanks, and good night. All right, I want to thank everybody that became a patron recently. I want to thank Brittany, Elizabeth, and David. Thank you, thanks, and good night. I want to thank Zoe, Nicola, and Alyssa. Thank you, thanks, and good night. I want to thank Elisa, Alex, and Dalton. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Judy, Gregor, and Teresa. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Marin, Justin, and Sylvie. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Justin, Jess, and Susan. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Caroline, Mikkel, and Matthew. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Dennis, Catherine, and Jack. Thank you, thanks, and good night. And Jackie and Lizzie. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Thanks everybody who supports the show on Patreon, or supports us on Apple, or supports our sponsors. That's how we're able to be here free twice a week. And thanks everybody thanks everybody that spreads the word about our podcast or podcasting in general. It's another huge way to help keep the show going. So thanks so much. And here's a couple of Talk UN sponsors that enabled us to grow our archives so much. Thanks. Hey, everybody. As we tuck you in here, I just wanted to let you know, hey, if you're in a position to do so, if you've been listening to a lot of Sleep With Me in 2022, as you hear from people, there's 1,400 minutes in the day about, and as I see people's year-end lists, depending on the app you use, people listen for 7,000 minutes, 6,000 minutes, 33,000 minutes, 17,000 minutes. I know there's even higher numbers. Think about that, because a lot of work goes into the show, and you supporting the show directly, particularly on Patreon as an annual patron at $10 or $20 a month, but even monthly, supports the work that makes all those minutes possible. So thank you so much. sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. You could support the show. You help it, and I appreciate it. Let me tuck you in there a little bit more. sleepwithmepodcast.com/PATRON. Thanks.